So day 18 says, what's one thing you gained from your mother and dad that you have grown to love? Y'all, I'm at the drive-thru, of course. Good morning. Thank you. Have a nice day. That was a weird exchange. So mine says, my smart says, taking me for. Good morning. Can I have a strawberry jelly, please? Thank you. Have a nice day. They just look at you so strange. I don't understand that. Okay. So it says 18. What's the one thing that you gained from your mother and father that you have grown to love? And I would say my absolute independence. Even though my parents are married, you know, they always have preached to me being independent, being your own woman. So once you do get in a relationship, they basically raised me to be an asset to myself first. And then if I get into a relationship, also know that you need to be an asset to your partner. So it says my smarts, it has taken me far in jobs, careers, just life in general. Oh, Jesus. Threw that book. Okay, but just life in general. When it comes to like everything, my things that my mama, you know, says, I talk to my mom like everybody knows that my mama is like my BFF. I don't know what's going on with me and my speech pattern right now, but my mom is like my BFF. You know, she knows everything, and that's even with my father. He told me and preached things to me like, don't you let no nigga, and he also did say don't let no nigga put their hands on you, but everything that our parents teach us, we don't listen to. And domestic violence, that will also dispel the rumor of just because you're in a two-parent home, that doesn't mean that means that it's less likely for you to happen. It is less likely for you to happen, but it can happen. And I'll tell anybody, and this is one of my major things that I preach to people, domestic violence isn't about, you know, it's not just about that person putting their hand on you. It's about where you are at that point in your life. If a person catches you at the wrong point in your life, anything can happen. That's how you see people that are strong and they get on drugs. Or you see somebody, like the kids that I used to work with at DCFS, you know, they were smart kids, but it's life situations that occurred that made them take the wrong path. And yes, you do navigate, and I pray to God that everybody goes back on the path that they should and understand your worth, but you still have to, you know, you have to make mistakes. And I think that's another thing as parents, that we get it messed up, that we kind of started trying to not so much shelter our kids, but we don't want things to happen to them, and things actually have to happen to them in order for them to be okay, the person that they are. Because if we hadn't gone through our saying incidents, you know, we don't want anything bad to happen. You never want anything bad to happen to your child. But you know, if you don't go through things in life, you're not gonna be able to grow. It's hard. It's a hard task. But you can't flourish if you don't go through the bad times. So you need to go through the bad times. So I appreciate, and I fuss with my mom and my daddy all the time. But you know, going through the situations, just having them there, to even till this day, my dad, he'll still say it, like, for my son, most people know that I didn't speaking of not fully raising my child by myself. So it was a village type situation. But after the domestic violence relationship happened, my father and my mother and I sat down, and he was basically like, you know, you have a son. And although when it happened, Terrence was never around when he would put his hands on me, but you know, we saw best that, you know, Terriers go with my parents. So the other day I'm on the phone and I'm talking to my mom, and my mom was like, "Good, you know you ain't had terriers. You know we had terriers." I was like, "Hazel, don't you play on my top, baby," because I had terriers. Like, I think I probably had terriers until he got to the point where he ended up going to, I think it was Martin Luther King. Like, she tried to make like I ain't never had my child. I was like, okay, now yeah, that's y'all, you know, that's y'all child. I was a baby incubator, but Hazel tried it the other day when we was on the phone. And matter of fact, I'm gonna insert some clips because I was telling her about the time, y'all, Princess was bad. Like, Princess was bad, like plus size bad. Princess broke our bed. And her dad didn't want me to tear her ass up, but I wanted to beat her so bad because that was a bed. I had finally got me a little canopy bed. Listen, I was so mad. And that girl, I'm gonna insert the picture. But Hazel really tried to play with me and she was like, "You ain't had tears." So I was like, "I know you lying." But that is day 18. What's the one thing you gained from your mom and dad that you have grown to love? So that's knowledge, respect for people. Even though my daddy will tell people I'm so disrespectful. And I am, but I'm only disrespectful if you disrespect me. But that's my day 18. See you guys later.